there comes a point where your body just stops cooperating with whatever you're trying to force on it. For me, that point showed up around 40. Not in a dramatic fall off a cliff kind of way, but in those subtle shifts that pile up over time. I'd wake up and feel different. I'd handle stress differently. Food hit me differently, and eventually it all added up to one realisation. My hormones weren't playing the same game anymore. And honestly, it humbled me in ways I wasn't expecting. In your 20s and 30s, you think you got your body figured out. You think that weight loss is just eating a little bit better, moving a bit more, and just getting back on track. And for a while, that works. You get away with a lot. But as you get older, your body changes in ways you don't notice until they're staring you in the face. Metabolism slows, stress lingers, hunger feels different, and by the time you realise it, these changes have been happening quietly for years. One of the hardest things for me was just figuring out what to even do, because the world of healthy living has turned into a circus. Everyone online has an opinion and none of them match. One person swears carbs are the enemy and the next says they're essential. Fat was evil for years and now people are drinking butter in their coffee like it's medicine. You've got people talking about fasting windows like they're stock traders trying to time the market. And you sit there thinking, I'm just trying to be healthy. Why is this so complicated? And because I didn't know any better at the time, I got pulled into it. All the trends, all the extreme approaches, the endless rules. If someone said a food was bad, then I'd cut it. If someone swore a certain routine was magic, I tried it. And for a while, you think you're doing something smart, but the reality is you're just bouncing between extremes, hoping one of them sticks. And none of them do. Not long term anyway. What I didn't realise or understand back then was that every extreme was quietly setting me up for a crash later. None of these plans ever talked about balance, and I didn't realise that carbs, fat and protein all matter, every single one. And sometimes what feels like lack of discipline is just hormone-driven cravings showing up because everyone's out of sync. And when that crash finally hit, it hit me after 40. When I talk about this, I try to be clear that the shift wasn't sudden. There wasn't one big moment where everything stopped working. It was more like a slow drift. I'd wake up more tired than usual, even on easy days. I'd eat and feel heavier than I ever used to. I'd skip a meal thinking I'd tighten things up like I did in my 20s, and instead I'd end up completely out of control later on that night. And each little thing on its own didn't feel like much, but together they were signs my body was trying to give me. I just wasn't ready to listen. I kept telling myself I needed more discipline, more structure, more willpower. All the usual stuff you tell yourself when you think you're falling short. But the truth was simple. My body wasn't responding the way that it used to because it wasn't the same body anymore. Here's the part nobody really tells you, especially as a man. Hormones aren't some niche woman's topic. They're not just about pregnancy or menopause. They're running the whole show behind the scenes. Hunger, cravings, sleep, energy, stress, how quickly you recover, how much you can tolerate before burning out, how you react emotionally to things, all of it. And as you get older, those hormones shift, not in a dramatic TV show kind of way, just little changes that add up. Stress feels heavier. That's cortisol creeping in. Sleep doesn't bounce back the way it used to. That's hormones too. Appetite gets unpredictable because the signals aren't firing the same way. And look, I'm not going to pretend I know what it feels like to ride the hormonal roller coaster that women deal with. But the more I listened, actually listened, the more I realised women face a whole extra layer of complexity. Estrogen shifts, progesterone dips, cycle changes, perimenopause. You know, each one affects hunger, cravings, sleep, mood, water retention, digestion and energy. It explains why some months feel effortless while others feel like you're fighting your own body. Men get humbled too, just in our own way. Testosterone dips as you age. It doesn't vanish, but it just shifts enough that you feel it. Stress hits in a way that it didn't before. Sleep quality gets weird. Recovery slows from training, long days, even emotional strain. You feel this heaviness you can't pin to one thing. And suddenly all the little stuff you ignored in your 30s become impossible to miss. It's not that men have it easier, just different. Women deal with one version of hormonal chaos, men deal with another. Different paths, same humbling. You know something? I had this dream years ago where I saw myself healthy. Not the version I lived as, but the version I always felt was buried somewhere underneath everything. And it felt real enough that it annoyed me when I woke up. It was like a glimpse into a life where I felt I should have been living all along. And that dream stuck with me all these years. It wasn't some big motivational, I'm going to change my life moment. It was much quieter than that, more like a constant curiosity. A little voice asking, who could I be if I stopped getting in my own way? And honestly, that question turned out to be more powerful than any diet that I've ever tried. The thing about dieting the wrong way, bouncing between extremes, starving yourself, punishing yourself in the gym, trying to outsmart your body, is that the damage doesn't show up right away. You think you're getting away with it. You think the weight's coming off, so it must be working. But really, you're just digging a deeper hole that you'll have to climb out of later. Eventually, you'll hit that halfway mark in life and the invoice shows up. And it's a big one. Metabolism slows, stress hits harder, your tolerance for chaos drops. Hunger shows up on random days for no reason at all. And the old tricks, the strict diets, the skipped meals, the punishing workouts, they all just stop working. And instead of admitting the approach doesn't work anymore, you start thinking something's wrong with you. But nothing's wrong with you. What's wrong is the method. What's wrong is expecting your 40-something body to act like your 20-something body. And it just won't. That's not failure, that's biology. Once I finally accepted that my hormones weren't the same, I started paying attention to what my body was trying to tell me. Not what the internet said, not what some fitness influencer swore was optimal, just my own feedback. If I ate something and felt good, then I didn't question it. If it left me sluggish, heavy or foggy, I didn't pretend it was fine. If I felt hungrier than usual, then I didn't try to power through it like I did in my 20s. I just listened. And the more I listened, the more it made sense. Hunger made sense. Energy patterns made sense. And honestly, this took me way too long to admit. If a diet only works when you're starving, cranky and miserable, then it doesn't work. It never did. It just tricks you into blaming yourself instead of the plan. It was never about fixing hormones or boosting metabolism. It was about working with the body that I have now, not the one I had 20 years ago. So yeah, my hormones humbled me, and honestly, I'm glad, because if they hadn't, I probably would have kept forcing myself into extreme plans forever, pretending everything was still the same. Getting older doesn't mean that you're falling apart, it just means that the rules change. Your body stops negotiating after enough years, and you can either fight it or work with it. And working with it, accepting the season that you're in, understanding the role hormones play, listening to your own feedback instead of chasing the next trend. That's the thing that actually makes this sustainable. You're not broken, you're not weak, and you're not failing. Your hormones just aren't 20 anymore. And once you stop pretending that they are, everything gets simpler. Not easy, just simpler.